alone.
True. But there are a lot of things that Xayah is going to need to press R for, and she only has one R every 2 minutes.
Hopefully takes cleanse. Any normal ADC here takes cleanse. Dear God.
This is a very good cleanse game. Very good cleanse game. I do like the Bard pick. I expect Bard to be roaming around with Maokai quite a bit and getting a lot of work done on the map.
Can see it happening. It is going to be a bit of a Vi should be able to get out onto the map earlier than Maokai, and that's going to be where CCG needs to grab this advantage, really. Find a gank onto the Xayah before she can really get that safety in the 6, or even before she can get the safety in that Bard tunnel, and then, or get the Syndra ahead, because Syndra and Orianna are going to be sitting in lane, and even just getting a flash off, it's going to be really important to just keep that immobile mid laner. Just whoever loses flash in mid, it might just come down to, or it might just end up being lose flash, you're going to die first blood probably to a flash gank from the jungle.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a lot of brawling around mid. I think the Emilio is going to keep a lot of the bot lane fights negated. So I think we should expect a lot of action around mid lane. The Syndra should have to do a lot of heavy lifting come the mid game if Ashe doesn't get ahead. So if the game goes late, I'm favoring HU Storm for it. But if CCG can take a hold of the early game and keep momentum going, they should be able to end the game rather quickly.
Absolutely. And that top lane is going to be an issue for whichever side loses it. And while I do say often it's hard to lose top lane as a tank because you don't really need to do anything but farm, Aatrox, if you give Aatrox a kill or two and a small CS lead, it can balloon into the unkillable juggernaut monster that's just going to walk around the map and speed boost constantly. So,
and with having 2 immobile carries, that definitely could be a problem.
Absolutely. This is, I mean, CCG started off pretty solid, and they've got a big, not a debt. There's a word for it. I can't think of it, but they've got a big ball and chain down there in the bot lane, and they're going to need to really find a way to work around it, or it's just going to work against them later on.
Yeah, I really hope that they play like they focus all of their efforts around the mid lane, get the Syndra ahead, and start one-shotting the immobile carries on the other team. Because like I said, if the game starts going late, you have an Orianna and a Xayah on the other team, which are going to start just running over the game.
They do have a very good CC chain here, though, so that is something to look forward to, at least through your mid to late game. Your team fighting, as long as you don't throw it all into Xayah while she has ulti up or cleanse up, you can put Vi, Ashe, Syndra, and Cassante all into her and hopefully just make it a 4v5 as fast as possible.
I think that CCG's goal is to find Orianna specifically, since that Xayah counter pick came out after the Vi, and blow up the Clockwork Lady before she can get a shockwave off.
It will depend on how fat or how fed this Orianna gets, because after a certain point, if Orianna doesn't have 2 items, she's just an R-bot, and you kind of don't really need to worry about her damage output, and she just becomes secondary to the team comp after a while.
Yeah, and I don't feel like Storms has a very cohesive draft in terms of they don't have a great ball carrier, somebody who's going to want to go in and survive long enough. Maokai isn't the best ball carrier to go in. Being in the jungle, he doesn't have the most resources available to him. Aatrox can carry that ball, but he's usually going to want to be far enough away from Orianna to where he's not going to have it. But we are in the game.
We are into game. I feel like we just got so rushed. Oh boy, and we're already starting off. Bard walks forward into Cassante. There's no way you're getting out of there alive, and Ashe will pick up first blood for CCG, but are they going to keep going forward here? Orianna's going real low, and the lethal tempo and slow on the Frost arrow is huge. The chase down, the flash forced out of the Orianna, and just survives with 1 health. There was no extra damage there, really, outside of the Ashe, and will at least let Painshell walk away with his life.
Yeah, and that's huge for CCG to get that Ashe an early lead. because that's what they need to do. They really need to snowball this game to take advantage of their power spikes.
Absolutely, and it's massive that they get the flash out of this immobile care and teleport forced out of Pain Shell. So that's just going to be really, really dangerous to go up against, or really dangerous to play around if you are HU Storm.
Yeah, and we were talking about in draft, whoever gets that mid lane flash first is going to be in deep trouble. So let's look at Vi to come early through that mid lane and take advantage of that flashless Orianna.
And now that we have a lull in the action because it is early laning phase, I feel like we can do the introductions. Hi, welcome to CCG Esports main page here, or not main page, Twitch page for the ACL lower bracket playoffs, as we have CCG Esports, the main roster, up against Harrisburg University Storm in a best of 3, and it's win or go home for both of these teams now.
It definitely is a 10 situation, best of 3. I'm hoping we get all 3 games. Teams usually play the best when their backs are up against the wall.
And for both of these teams, it's a very different story in terms of the regular, actually similar story. Both finished 5-2, but first we see this Aatrox just absolutely bullying Cassante with that range advantage here. Now the chains going down, but just able to walk away. No one's going to really die for quite a while here. It's mostly going to be down to trading, as neither really have kill pressure on the other tank.
Yeah, Cassante is definitely going to live through this unless he makes a big mistake. I'm surprised to see Vi full clearing when Orianna was stacking a wave into the Syndra at first. But it looks like we might have an invade going on bot side.
Absolutely. They have the pressure. Look at, you can see that Painkill's under turret already, has to really just focus on farming here and catching that wave to get the gold advantage back into their favor. And yep, that's just easy. Kid Beats has to back off, recall, and just path towards the top side and hope for the best now.
Yeah, it's easy for that Ashe Melio lane to get that early push in. Later on in levels 4, 5, 6, it's going to be a bit harder for them to maintain that push, but at least they're taking advantage of this early pressure.
They really, really should. Xayah's early game, not famously weak, but is not super strong compared to any champion that can outrange her pretty comfortably. I cannot tell what's going on stream anymore, sadly, but
that's why we got a mini map. So both junglers pretty much did a full clear, with Vi taking the blue buff with the assistance of the bot lane. I was really hoping to see an early gank mid lane because of the flashes of Orianna, but Syndra is keeping the pressure up.
And now you see the Melio lands the kick, and they're just going to focus on the Bard here with the Ashe going solo, forcing the flash out of Barlow now. And that is just a second flash force from this Ashe. And now top lane getting a bit spicy. Cassante going to keep landing those Q3s to hopefully force Aatrox under turret. But now what on earth is going on in this bot lane?
Vi is really wanting to force a dive down here because of the flashless Bard, and let's see if they can get it done with the Syndra arriving.
And jukes from the Bard, but no flash available, and now Samikin's going to secure the kill onto Barlow, but Aatrox here with the teleport, and Vi going solo. The flash Q3 is not going to land, though, and there goes the Vault Breaker, and Lunar's going to secure the kill onto Ego. It's a 2-0 for CCG Esports on a very impressive bot lane dive.
Yeah, and that even gets Aatrox's teleport out, so Cassante is going to get lane prio up top. I don't think he's going to be able to get a plate, but there's still a lot of action going on bot lane. Looks like each team really wants to play around bot lane today.
They really tried to get or Harrisburg really wanted to get that catch out there on a potential overextension. And all they'll get, I mean, they will get a flash here from Samikins, man, we were just so rushed today. Messages not starting for CCG Esports today. We have Samikins in for the series for today. So that's really it. It's not interesting. Flash forced out of Lunar now, and that is going to be a huge deal because Ashe, not a very mobile AD carry outside of some kiting capabilities.
Yeah, that was a bit of disrespect by Ashe with her positioning there, knowing that the Bard was Mia and she gets paid for it, losing her flash early, and the Maokai roams down.
Yep, Maokai already pathing down, looking to get any pressure back on this map after just a massive, massive loss of pressure from mid lane. And now they get some of it back as they're going to funnel a little bit of that gold and a shutdown onto Makel. So Xayah does answer back, but is still about 400 gold behind. So about a Ruby Crystal or like 10 AD, I think.
Yeah, CCG being up about 1K right now because Cassante was able to get a plate after that Aatrox TP bottom. But it looks like Vi wants to play around Dragon here potentially. Everybody's posturing around it. I do want to see them start to use that vision that they do have to either get a pick and get the Dragon or not this.
Oh, but there goes the catch out now onto Fnatic and Sammykins. They find them rotating unsafely in the jungle or overstaying in the river, and now they just jump Maokai onto them, put in the shockwave, and it's pretty even, all things considered, in gold now.
Yeah, that 1K gold lead is gone in a flash, just overstaying. They had the vision down. They just needed to rotate the players and commit to something. But the Vi overstayed and gets punished for it.
Definitely we're fishing for that early Drake. Just want to get the Drake stacking started, it seems, but you gotta be patient, and there's a nice support trade. Always my favorites. But no damage dealt.
Yeah, and if this Ashe doesn't really start to press her advantage, she's going to start to lose her advantage because at one item, Xayah will already start to outscale her.
Now we're seeing a lot of the level 6s come up. So, I mean, it's going to be possibly looking for team fight. Herald and Drake are available, so we'll at least see some 3v3s, hopefully, unless someone's absolutely dominating lane when the jungles are in position to start the objectives. But is this both eyes on the Herald here? And both teams kind of know the other's posturing for it.
Bard's got the early move though over the Melio. That's the big advantage of the Bard pick is you should usually get that first roam.
Oh, but now with the cease and desist, the all-out goes through the twisted, not the twisted advance, the Nature's Grasp not going to save the Aatrox's life in the end. And now the portal behind the magical journey. Dragoon running to find Ego, but is just gonna have to choose to leave. But Barlow lands a nice stun, but there's a good footwork to get under the turret, and the twisted advance will cost a tower shot for the Maokai.
Yeah, after that bot dive, it seems like HU Storm is really the ones trying to be more proactive on the map. CCG might have thought they were more ahead than they were and got a little complacent.
Oh no. And there's Sammykin running away here as HU, with the fight win in top lane, are going to be able to get this first Herald, and that's really powerful because that's at least 125 gold over to one. I mean, it's slightly weaker than it was before, but 125 gold is 125 gold. Possibly even 250 now. Dang, that's so weak. But 250 if you can get a second plate.
And first Rift for first Dragon is not a worth trade for the Dragon side of that. If they really wanted that early Dragon, they had the opportunity to go for it. It seems like HU Storm might be at a slight deficit right now, but with the Herald, they have guaranteed 2 plates in their pocket.
And that first Drake is a Chem Tech, which is widely considered not only the weakest soul, but the weakest individual Drake right now. It's not looking too hot in that trade, but they're still about 800 gold ahead. So, or now 1,000 because of minion waves cleared, but should be equalizing back to about 800 here.
Yeah, the minion count across the map is CCG is slightly ahead. The Ashe has been slightly growing her 400 gold lead now to a 500 gold lead. Like I said, I don't think it's enough. I really want to see more skirmishing on the side of CCG. I feel like they have the pick potential. They just need to find.
The arrow finds Barlow, and Barlow couldn't get through there before getting the kick in the head. With the jump forward, do they have the answer? Just is going so low. There goes the Tempered Fate. Avril forced to go into the Featherstorm now, running away from the Ashe with the Flurry. And now we have a fight in top lane. Dragoon and Ego are just throwing down. And Kid Beats tries to come in to at least punish or dissuade any extent further fighting, and just Twisted advances away, and a lot of ultimates for no kills.
Yeah, that was 4 ultimates burned, at least. Maybe Milio's burned as well. But that was a beautiful magical journey to bring the Vi under the tower and almost get the pick on the Vi, but she was able to get away.
Just narrowly able to get away, but I think CCG do win win that trade out because the 2 ultimates burned by HU are massive. Featherstorm is a
ultimate
2-minute cooldown, and Tempered Fate is almost 2 minutes on its own as well at rank 1, so a lot of potential ultimate punish.
Yeah, they have 2 minutes to rinse and repeat and see if they can make something happen, because at rank 1, Vi ultimate is much shorter cooldown than Featherstorm.
Oh boy, I think it's always shorter. God, Featherstorm, way too much power budget and gets punished with permanent cooldown. So, bad times for everybody. And I don't see any... I can't tell any items coming through here.
Yeah, if the observers could switch over to what items are coming through, we really want to see these power spikes coming online now.
Don't think anyone has the money for one yet, but we're getting pretty close to it, if I had to guess. For now, though, bouncing waves back and forth. Top lane are going to hit each other with sticks occasionally, but nothing too crazy.
Also, I'm really curious as to what the Ashe build is, if they are going to go Kraken in the Triforce or Triforce first. It really depends on her where her power spikes are going to come in. I've even seen some crazy on-hit Ashe builds.
Oh, but there goes... Oh, miscommunication. The Herald coming down. They thought they had the advantage, so they were pushing forward, but there goes the Enchanted Crystal Arrow. Now the runaways. No Tempered Fate, no Flash available. And here comes Ego. Kidbeat's already going to fall and has to run away in the World Ender. There goes the Featherstorm. Has Cassante found the angle? Dragoon is going so low. Will find the kill, but there's no trade backs yet on the side of Harrisburg. Maybe Samikin walking too far forward, but they're going to find the Scatter the Weak onto Ego, and Samikin, the substitute, goes on a killing spree, and CCG go 3 for nothing.
And that's exactly what CCG needed to do. That's what we were waiting for. Their comp is really strong at these points in the game, and for the next 10 minutes, they will continue to be strong, especially after that victory.
And what I think their comp is going to be, or is always going to be good at, is catching out. And you saw it there. They knew no Featherstorm on the Xayah, fired the Enchanted Crystal Arrow to get a pretty decent stun even at short distance, and it just all fell apart from there. The ADC was forced to flash away. There was no Tempered Fate, some miscommunication possibly even from Harrisburg. So CCG,
yeah, the Herald was a bit late.
Over.
I'm not sure if they wanted Maokai to drop the Herald as they were pushing, or if they didn't think that CCG would respond with the Enchanted Crystal Arrow that quickly. But there definitely was some miscommunication, or at least some misunderestimating happening.
Uh-oh, but now Vi on the wrong side. Kidbeats is going to keep Fnatic away from the wall. There's going to be no flash out. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Cassante secures first tower for CCG, and that's 500 gold into the Cassante's pocket now.
And Cassante can run over a game. He doesn't do the most damage in a game, but he is sticky, and he can disrupt a back line like nobody's business. And if he keeps getting fed gold like that, he's going to be a problem.
Uh-oh. The Enchanted Crystal Arrow lands onto Barlow, but flash forward from Lunar to dodge the Tempered Fate, and now there's so much damage. Has the Flurry, has the lethal tempo stacked up. That's going to be a kill on to Xayah. Kidbeats trying to heal, maybe finish the dragon, will secure it, but the damage from Lunar's too much, and it's 4 for nothing. It's not even a full team fight, but CCG find a way to make it one.
That flash by Lunar was absolutely gorgeous to dodge the Bartle, flashing forward. Like, the aggressiveness coming out of the dash is wonderful, and I'm enjoying it very much.
That is exactly what you want out of your Ashe, because that's kind of the way you're going to win to an eye on Ashe at field, or not in general. And now maybe they found Barlow, but Barlow's going to just turning away. And
2K up on Zaya. That is a big deal at this point in the game. If they can keep Zaya down, keep the Ashe up. I will say though, if they don't to posture around it this next Herald, they might be starting to show signs of a potential threat.
hey, do they need to get the Rift Herald? They already have the first two. They have all tier ones down, actually. They did drop mid after that Rift fight as well as bot, so they
Tier
will.
2s on the side are worth a lot of gold. And if they want to keep snowballing, they need to get those tier 2s on the side down as soon as possible.
And as long as Cassante has his teleport, he should be able to just be a menace in the side lanes. Just such a safe laner. Barlow forced a flash from a Snap Enchanted Crystal Arrow. And that's him getting punished for trying to posture against an Ashe's Bard.
Yeah, I love that Lunar is just throwing the arrow off cooldown. It's just, if we can get a pick, we can get a pick. If not, it's back up in 70 seconds, 60, maybe even 60 seconds at this point.
Oh, goodness. Ashe is just such a strong ability. And Drop Force definitely will always help with, I think it's
Yeah, I'm glad that they used their pressure to make sure that that objective wasn't just sitting there. It was in there for a little bit too long for my taste. But we got Cassante pressuring the bot lane now, keeping it up. If he's got Iceborne Gauntlet settled, which he should have at this point, he can't be 1v1'd. You just can't 1v1 him right now as an Aatrox.
painful out here. 49.
I just realized how far that Aatrox is behind. That Cassante is running it. Yeah, it's what this comp should be doing. They should be taking advantage of their early and mid game power, and it's exactly what they're doing. I don't want to see them take their foot off the gas, though. I want to see them keep shooting that arrow off cooldown. I want to see scatter the weak picks. I want to see Vi picks. Yeah, and I believe it went to the Aatrox, which first go. So the Vi went to Aatrox. Still getting a kill on that Aatrox is getting him back into the game. He is almost 3,000 gold down. He needs help, and that was a good team fight to get it. And he's still got a tower to hide behind if it gets really bad, too. Stopping the wave from even reaching it. It's... Cassante is in charge right now.
Cassante is absolutely in charge. The definition of in charge.
Which, while this is going on, Vi is soloing the dragon.
Yeah.
which is very good to keep those dragons stacking up.
I mean, HU can't even walk into their own jungle right now. They walked into their own jungle and they found an... I mean, they did find the last good play there, so maybe they can walk into their jungle, but only occasionally.
Yeah, their vision's not terrible, but CCG does have the deeper vision on the entrances to their bottom jungle and their top raptors.
And even without permanent deep vision, Lunar... Oh, no. The Enchanted Crystal Arrow is going to miss, and now the jump forward. Lunar, another sidestep on the Tempered Fate, and there goes the Nature's Grasp. They're trying to get Lunar out of the Shockwave, and now jumping onto the Orianna. He's finally online, finds the kill to the Vi, and Avril will find a kill on Lunar, and you are first on CCG.
Yeah, a bit of a misplay there by CCG. They split their focus. They didn't target down one character, which is what their comp should be doing. But Samikin just gets it anyway. They overchase, and the R comes down.
Yep, that is exactly why you never chase draw. No, she doesn't, because she will just turn and hits health target for all health for that reason. So other kill onto Samikin, absolutely a menace now on this Syndra, and is looking to be the main carry.
All right, so let's look at ways, because the game is 6K down for Harrison University. Let's look at ways that they can get back in here, and it's not going to be splitting the map against the Cassante, as we saw that they had 3 members and they could not take him down, and he was still farming in their face. So I think what they're going to need to do is, even though that they're 6K down, they're winning these smaller skirmishes because CCG is not focus firing all of their abilities, but they might have an opportunity to.
Kid Beats gets caught by the Enchanted Crystal Arrow. They're going to try and get the rundown. They're slow, but just able to get out with the magical journey there, and a Tempered Fate to force to step back. Excuse me, sorry. And now it's eyes on the Baron, though. Tempered Fate is grasped on the side of HU, and that's just going to be free for CCG, it seems.
Yeah, and a good scatter of the week. Are they getting pushed off Baron right now?
Oh, my stream is black.
Yep, I have lost my feed as well. Let's go off of sound cues.
Uh-oh, that's not good. Man,
I hear
a
Ash
lot of
rapid
eyes.
firing away.
A lot of eyes. Uh-oh. I can't tell what's going on. Hello, everybody. Oh, boy. I mean, they were on Baron. We could tell they got off of Baron because there were a lot of abilities being thrown around and no Baron Scream, so...
Yeah, and there was a lot of Ash rapid fire going crazy. But at this point in the game is where Ash is going to start to get outscaled by Xayah. So it's a matter of who she was auto-attacking. Because if she was auto-attacking Xayah, she's going to lose that 1v1 probably.
I'm fully going to assume Ash pentakill because, honestly, you can't tell me I'm wrong if we don't have the footage of it. So,
I mean, I've gotten Ash pentakills.
My goodness.
It's totally possible. If I can get an Ash pentakill, Lunar can get an Ash pentakill.
You really should. Pentakill in pro play feels like a crime. Or an organized play feels like a crime.
It's usually your teammates helping out quite a bit.
No, that Ash was doing damage, though, actually. As much as I joke about Vi being a very medium or ADC, not a jungler. Please don't play her jungle. Lunar was giving me a reason to believe that this champion's very capable. My camera's freaking out. My Wi-Fi's blowing itself up. I'm sorry.
It's no worries. These things happen in live productions. You never know what's going to get thrown your way.
I mean, I know what happened. That was seems we were League of Legends does weird things. Anyways, that does mean the game ended. That spectator delay, the game did end, which is why it sent us back to the client. The client reopens over League of Legends if the game ends for reasons. So some team won in the next 3 minutes.
So I believe, I don't want to speak too soon. If we can get a better screenshot.
No clue.
I'm going to make a prediction here, and production can let me know if I was right. So that Baron fight, they didn't get the Baron, but they turned the team fight. They won the team fight. They sprinted it down mid and ended the game right away.
I'm going to assume with how many Ashe auto attacks we heard.
Yeah, I heard nothing but Ashe auto attacks. So I'm assuming she built a Ruined Hurricane and was auto attacking everybody and just aching forward.
I guess we won't know until ACL updates us, or until the ACL updates the. I guess we'll have to wait until somebody confirms it for us who is in the game, because we don't know. And ACL doesn't update until series end, so. Screen's very bright, I'm sorry.
So my money is on CCG winning that game, though, because of the game state. And if they were able to turn that fight at Baron, it would pretty much solidify the deal for them. Whereas
I also believe if they did take the game, it just seemed way too in their favor at that point to really flip around, unless they did get the Baron, which doesn't sound like they did.
Yeah, unless HU Storm had a great team fight there, was able to kill the Syndra.
All right, and we did just get confirmation that CCG Esports have taken. Oh, my camera's lagging. I don't know if my voice is, but we took, or not we, I guess but CCG Esports have taken game 1 against Harrisburg University Storm. So now they are on match point, and Harrisburg are. I mean, they need to win back-to-back games now, or they are out of ACL champions. Fall league, not some. It is very much fall.
It's been fall for quite some time, Box.
I know.
Do you live in Miami or somewhere where it's summer all the time?
No, I'm used to summer, meaning everything to late off Legends. Like September is summer season. Also, everything's lagging. I'm pretty sure my computer's on fire, so that's fun.
Well, make sure you have a cup of water next to you just in case it is on fire.
I do. I don't know if wait, water, electrical fire, not good. It's gonna blow it up. Never mind. Wait.
Oh. You're looking good to me, my friend.
All right. I was not looking good to myself on the production stream, so.
Yeah, it was getting a bit laggy there.
Oh yeah. Nice.
Make sure you don't have HBO Max open playing Game of Thrones in the background like I did earlier.
Nothing else open. Unless I'm secretly having something else open. But I think that is a solid time to transition to a quick intermission before Game 2. CCG take the win in Game 1 against Harrisburg University Storm and are on the verge of advancing to lower bracket round 2. Stay tuned for Game 2. Whoops. I forgot it's VMix call now. Hi, welcome back. I was muted.
Yeah, so we have the same. So far, it is the same picks and bans, except for the first game they banned a Syndra instead of a Shaco.
It was a Shiv, not a Shiv.
Yep. But it is the salty run back by both teams, and they early rotation the Maokai this time, leaving their ADCs and supports for a second phase, both teams. So let's see. That should change up the draft a little bit.
I'm interested to see what the confidence is from HU here. Not only giving over the exact same picks, but even like just handing over the Syndra again and first picking, or well, their first pick, Oriana. I mean, Aatrox is fine. As long as you can actually not get behind this time, Aatrox will be fine. But the Ori into the Syndra again after it got absolutely smashed in game one, it felt like. It's just bold.
I mean, I like the Oriana into the Syndra. The Oriana is a stronger pick. Syndra does have that more burst potential for that one target. Oriana's got the better team fight. Their laning is a skill matchup, which Syndra did win last time. But HU did ban the Melio this time, and CCG followed up with a Caitlyn ban.
Interesting. So we did see the Senna and Aphelios ban by HU or by Harrisburg on second rotation last time. So interesting to see them pivot over to a support ban instead, as Caitlyn taken away. I don't think HU is going to pick a Lux anyways. And now Varus is gone, but not the Ashe. So they want Ashe, but not the Varus, it seems, or anything that goes with it.
And the Xayah ban by CCG. I would like to see possibly a Jinx here. I wouldn't mind seeing the Jinx. The traps are very good against Vi. Her range is very good against Syndra.
I am not. I've been since that patch came out and there's been teams playing on it in competitive tournaments. I have been singing the praises of Jinx, and that is an Ezreal.
That is not a Jinx. That is an Ezreal. So we are going kind of poke style when it.
How'd you hover? Oh no, they didn't end up banning Xayah. They banned it. They banned a Senna. Weird.
They did ban a Senna. I'm not going to talk about any of these hovers because they're just hovering every ADC in the game.
There's no way they pick Ashe again, right? It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be Aphelios Lulu, Aphelios Nautilus.
Nautilus is open.
All engaged. All the engaged champs are open.
Renata Glask is also open.
Into Ez though is kind of brutal.
She is still an extremely strong champion. The Nautilus is not a bad pick here. It goes with the rest of the comp to go for those picks, but it's not the best into a Maokai.
Not into Maokai, but I do believe that their goal is to kind of let Maokai go forward, wait for him to burn all his stuff, and then just jump onto a target, especially into this Oriana and even the Maokai himself, who is very stationary after throwing out that W. So it is going to be another get in the back line, blow somebody up, find a pick, and just fight from there kind of thing from CCG here.
Mm-hmm. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see Karma here now. It's a very obvious pairing with Ezreal.
Is not the angle I was thinking, but it's a very good support into heavy ADC jump and heavy backline jump, really, in general. So not a terrible pick, just not a great pairing because Senna's gone. And I mean, what, you're going to put it with Neela? That's really it.
I don't hate the Kench here, but I'm not the biggest lover of it. I feel like they lack a lot of hard CC. They have a lot of conditional CC.
It's very, their entire comp feels like it is. Because Maokai's your only guaranteed CC, as I'm like, sorry, but yeah, besides a Shockwave and 2 roots from Maokai, you have no guaranteed CC. It is all situational and skill shots.
Yeah, and once again, HU kind of lacks a team identity, or comp identity, where what is their win condition here? And I kind of feel like it's play around Oriana again, but I feel like they have worse tools this game to do it than they did last game.
I mean, it's gonna Oriana Aatrox dolls. I just can't see Ezreal doing too much completely. And I mean, they don't have the top lane bruiser carry like HU do, but CCG, I think, just have the more consistent guaranteed at some point, even if Syndra doesn't get super ahead early, will hit the point eventually through just farm alone if she needs to. And Aphelios is an ADC in this meta, so sit down, farm 3 items, you're good to go.
Yeah, ease of execution definitely lies with CCG. You have Vi and Nautilus go in, and then you follow up on that. Um, Also, both of those champs can provide peel to an Aatrox dive. I don't see Ezreal or Oriana doing too much to Cassante
It's
in
just
this game. So he's gonna, if he gets a lead in the top lane again, he's just gonna become a nuisance. And if it goes down to 5v5s, I got all my money on CCG this one.
I mean, we've seen them kind of do it. I mean, with the same exact the first 3 picks, we've seen them do it already, where they just got the pressure. I mean, yes, it was off of a very done early invade, but we get this lead already. Ooh, getting this jump, getting mid behind, and now they're just gonna hand. Oh, I'm lagging. Sorry, and HU's just gonna hand it back over to them. No questions asked. No answers for anything.
Yeah, and like you said, it's the same top side that they won with last game, but they have a stronger bottom side this time.
Definitely stronger bot lane. Aphelios gonna scale way better than as a bit less reliant straight on spikes and your ultimate land.
Yeah, I and adjustments that could have been made. I think a Nyla, if they were planning on the Tom Kench, if that was kind of their idea, is that like if they go Nautilus, we go Tom Kench. Um, a Nyla would have worked, I think, much better with this. She can be a ball carrier with Oriana. She can go in with Maokai and Aatrox and really put a lot of pressure on in those crazy, more disruptive team fights that Aatrox wants to take part of.
I mean, are there any better counter engage? I mean, even if they wanted to go with the Nautilus, you could have went not the Rakan this game. Rakan, maybe no. I just don't think the rest of the team comp would constitute a Rakan. Maybe Ken just there was also Alistar who's pretty good to go forward. Renato available who's pretty good to go forward, but just doesn't pick Ezreal because Ezreal does really use his auto attacks compared to the rest of the 80 who actually occurs Ezreal's a spell weaver, so maybe that was
Yeah,
what turned them off.
I actually probably wouldn't have hated the karma here. It would have helped them get bot push a bit better. And Karma's shields in the mid to late game are nothing to be against. And if Vi goes in, if Nautilus goes in, she does have a route to make sure that they stay in for the rest of the team to follow up.
It's just, I mean, that would have also been probably just overall better. Hello, Pictally and gross, but that probably would have just been more of a utility piece. But they kind of also have Oriana for that too, with her entire kit just being more utility than than damage carry focused.
Yeah, and I think we can just come to the consensus that the Tom Kench and the Ezreal bottom lane probably wasn't their best choice, and the Aphelios Nautilus is definitely going to run that bottom lane as it should play out with how we saw Lunar playing last game.
I guess, yeah, it is really going to be on the Ezreal to prove that this is a good pick. I mean, with all the champions available, you had Zaya, Kaisa, Sivir all available, and those are pretty solid, consistent scaling champions in some capacity. Sivir scales probably the hardest out of all of them, but all of those were pretty consistent and available and work with almost every single support on the patch right now. So Ezreal has a lot to prove here.
Yeah, and unlike last game, where the Bard by HU was able to get the roam earlier to make things happen around the map a little bit, that's going to be the Nautilus this game. He's going to be under not much. Aphelios isn't going to be under much kill threat by an Ezreal and a Tom Kench.
I mean,
So that should open up Nautilus to make plays happen on the mid lane.
unless there's some crazy abyssal dive that catches Lunar right out of position, I don't think Nautilus will have to sit in lane for too long. Probably can even get a level 2-3 roam out of it and go help the jungle if he really needs to. So this is just, this is I still am in firm belief this is lining up for CCG to just be an incredible 2-0 for them.
Yeah, the salty run back of the Oriana Aatrox into the Cassante after the Cassante just ran top lane last game. He was the king of the top and became a giant meatball. And as we saw, it took 3 of them to get him to half health, and he was still last hitting minions.
I mean, even if HU wanted to run this Aatrox Oriana back again, they could have just went with a Sejuani. Sejuani's way more consistent in CC, goes way better with an Aatrox, and has Glacial Prison. That's the name of it. Has Glacial Prison if needed. And I believe we are heading into game, I've been told. And here we are. Game 2. Those are flipped, I believe. Yes, those names are flipped. CCG is on the blue side this game once again. And now it's with a 1-0 lead. So a win does ensure advancement and survival for at least another few days.
Minions have spawned.
Yeah, and if they play as well as they did last game, there's not going to be a game 3. But it is up to HU to make us believe that this Ezreal Tahm Kench can work. If their goal is to keep Avril alive, so he can pump out DPS, let's see them do it. But with as much dive as
Because that's the early stage here, and they do have this unavailable, I believe. Oh, excuse me, on this Tahm Kench, but Ezreal going to get some good damage out with the Conqueror. And that is going to be a nice early trade for the side of HU. And, I mean, that's good, but what are you going to do to press that advantage? You have an Ezreal Tahm Kench with a Q.
Yeah, and they're playing aggressive, which is what they need to be doing with Tahm Kench right now. He has a strong level 1. They need to be pressing that advantage.
I just think it's going to be pretty difficult as we come up to level 2s here. The only thing that really did win them that engage is that Aphelios is locked at no abilities level 1 because he would be broken if he could actually use his Qs as soon as game started. So the zoning is pretty solid from Barlow though, but again, level 2 comes, this is going to be a turning point for CCG's bot lane.
And once again, Oriana's getting the push in the mid lane, but Vi isn't going for an early gank.
I mean, we didn't.
I was gonna say, I think it would be worth it as Vi to level 2 that Oriana and force the flash, so then you can repeat in just a few minutes.
I mean, absolutely. We saw last game, Pain Shell, no flash available and was just stunk under turret while CCG were invading onto Kid Beat's blue side and eventually got a dive off of it. So it is in their best interest to get Pain Shell stuck in lane.
Yeah, and while this is all happening on the other side of the map, Dragoon took Teleport and Ghost on Cassante and is once again running this Aatrox. Crashed the 3rd wave, up 10 CS. Aatrox is going to catch up a little bit, but I think that Cassante is going to stay firmly ahead and slowly gain a lead.
If you've been watching Worlds or any organized play that has an Aatrox in it, this is just what I call the Aatrox special at this point. Your opponent stacks a wave and you get stuck under turret so they can proxy and recall and just get a free back with no teleport force. It's just so consistent and easy to pull off against Aatrox. It's kind of comedic.
Yeah, Aatrox's first 3 levels are pretty much a joke. He does start, but then he does start to turn on very quickly, and his trades can become very impactful. It goes to show a Dragoon's confidence taking the Sheen first and not the cloth armors.
I mean, he knows that even naturally, Cassante could just tank these, even without a cloth armor. Cassante just has enough to naturally tank all of the combo. Now the hook lands on to Barlow. And is the root going to come through from Lunar? I don't think it's available anymore. Kind of burned it with bad layering. And Barlow's going to be able to walk away with a good chunk of healing because of his Grayskin passive. Oh, another hook. The hook goes right back in. And now the Ignite on to Just. And now Lunar trying to just keep the damage pouring out. But Avril is going to have so much more damage comparatively just because of everything. But the Flash Q, the Vault Breaker, first blood for Lunar on a chaotic, messy bot fight. And it's saved by Fnatic coming in to CC and punish an overextension from Avril there.
And I, if I saw it right, Fnatic was even able to get something out of Storm's jungle and then came back for that gank because he came through the lane. So if I saw that correctly, then Vi is going to be in a good spot. No, he did not get the Gromp. I thought he got the Gromp. He did not get the Gromp. Gromp is now respawning, so that's my fault. But good job on Vi for coming back and repeating on that gank.
Just absolutely perfectly played, and Dragoon had vision of Ego's recall and just went to interrupt him a little bit, but now he's up a level, so the all-out into the World Ender now. I don't think he has the health to survive this, but maybe he does. Does Cassante yield? Dragoon will yield despite what the ultimate says. Decides it's best not to try to tower dive Aatrox.
That was beautifully played by Dragoon because he turned back onto the wave to get his level 6 to match ultimates.
Oh,
but
the punish. Almost. The footwork is beautiful.
Yeah, Dragoon is really playing well, and on the knife's edge on that Cassante. Ego though is putting up a much better fight this time around than he did last game.
He's definitely putting up a better fight, but you could see Dragoon didn't even really back off after almost dying. Fully is aware that Ego is unable to take a back until Dragoon stops just pushing in waves and is going to actually get the TP out instead. Just bites the bullet, gets the plated steel caps, and is just forced to TP to catch waves.
Yeah, and one of the biggest things is that Aatrox burnt Flash and Cassante kept his Ghost. So the next time that those two do a level 6 fight, that Cassante is going to take down the Aatrox.
That is going to be painful to deal with, and does at least avoid any major disadvantages in the top lane narrowly for both of them, it feels like. But we do see this bot lane in a very advantageous position, trying to catch out Avril, but a good buffer with the, I don't know what it's called, I call it the Hex Jump, but it's not called that.
Something
Arcane
Shift.
Arcane Shift.
Shift.
I always call it Hex
go.
Jump, even though that is a different thing entirely.
Yeah, Hex Flash is a thing. Hex Gates are also a thing. I am surprised that we haven't... Okay, here comes Vi. I was about to say, I'm surprised we haven't seen Vi repeat gank on this bot lane, considering both flashes are still down for the enemy team, because Drake's up, and I really want to see CCG with their top pressure be able to take Dragon and then take Rift Herald with their top pressure.
We saw Dragoon on the Krugs because Dragoon was going for level 6 here, but now the Ignite's out of both supports. Just has to turn around. And there's the kill, actually, with the... I think that was just our standard Q. And now, maybe Fnatic's gone in a bit too deep, but Red-White, Lunar's ready to fight, but there's nothing left to fight over. Dragoon in all-out Ego in World Ender tries to buffer out of the Nature's Grasp, but it's not going to happen, and is now getting the CC chain, but a good footwork far, far away from the top jungle of Harrisburg University, and will at least be able to survive, but a 1-for-0 overall across the map for HU.
And it does open up Dragon for CCG, so they are able to get that Dragon, and with Orianna and Maokai were both top. Orianna has since based. That is opening up the door for the roam to the Rift Herald, as we see Just is roaming up to the top lane right now.
Oh, and that just, well, just started with Just overextending a little bit too much and taking a bit too much damage, and just left him at low enough health that Avril was able to finish the job. And there goes a turret plating, unrelated. But Barlow is just able to survive. That gray health is such a threat, but there goes the shockwave and a nice cancel there. But Samikin, is he going to be able to escape? The hook will land, and no one will fall. A nice shockwave to cancel Barlow's engage, and Pain Shell had to flash forward there for nothing. Samikin has flash and unleash power still.
Yeah, I'm surprised Anakin didn't flash that shockwave. I knew he probably knew he would have survived, but just giving up that health to give up the Rift Herald pressure just doesn't seem worth it for the flash. I think flashing there to save the health and keep the fight going to get that Rift Herald is totally worth it.
It could, yeah, probably is just smarter to do that and accept the health loss, or not accept the health loss, accept the flash loss to keep the pressure on to the Herald. So it will be HU getting the Herald onto Kid Beats, and that is at least a plate and a half guaranteed to anybody who, or wherever Kid Beats decides to drop it. But for now, Avril, it's a bit scared off because Just walks back into lane, and we are just back into the ebb and flow of laning phase.
Yeah, and think about where they want to put that Rift Herald. At this point, Aatrox is their only real pressure on the map. So if you're going to get a lane pushed up, you're gonna have to 2v1 a Cassante, but you're probably not going to kill him. So you're only going to get those 2 plates. If you go bot lane for the 3v2 bot lane, you might get a kill. You might get 2 kills, or it could turn on you if Vi matches that. So it's really hard for them to find a good spot to put this Herald, but they're gonna have to figure it out soon.
It's just gonna, I mean, if they hold it long enough, it's just gonna end up being, where do they want the money? Dragoon is fearless and just starts walking forward into Ego, and that's what happens when Cassante has almost a full Iceborne Gauntlet and can buy a Bramble Vest on top of it and still be even and tired. Dragoon gonna find a nice trade here. Is he gonna get the Q3 onto Ego and possibly just all out him? Nope, no all out, but gets a nice chunk of damage there.
It was a very good trade, and smash in mid lane.
Uh-oh, and there goes the cease and desist. The shockwave is a bit too late. Pain Shell eats 2 ultimates and will fall, and now Fnatic has a kill on the board, and his second takedown of the game, 100% KP. And HU trying to answer on the bot side with Kid Beats.
Yeah, the Maokai's down here. He's looking. He could be looking for the Rift Herald drop because that's their lane of pressure right now, and he's moving up through the lane brushes unseen so far. So it could be a good drop. They could get multiple plates off this if the fight is good too.
See, but for now, Dragoon and Ego just throwing it at each other. There goes the Herald. But is there even going to be anything? A good eat, Devour. Barlow to keep his ADC alive. Lunar's just going to be forwards with Inferno. Or Duskwave will land. And the kill. Samikin came down here with the, and that's going to be an over to Lunar at the 2-0 in exchange for, I think, all the went over to Kid Beats there because no one damaged the turret.
That was not worth it. That was not worth it. That was a great TP answer by Samikin. That was a great 2v2 fight by Lunar and Just.
And Patient's only going to get a single plate in response because Samikin just back in time. Oh my goodness.
And it looks like this Maokai is going full tank, so that 2 plates on him is not worth it at all.
Nope.
And as we say this, the top lane is going as predicted, where the Cassante is now almost 20 CS up, not the 40 CS he was up last game.
But now you see this diff in the gold already. 2 kills and 23 CS is a Storm Razor to a half item for Avril here. So Lunar is just so far ahead in this bot lane, and probably is gonna be able to take over the game, especially with red white.
He's 30 CS up. Got an extra kill on him. That Aphelios is already strong and something to be worried about. And also, Vi has Divine Sunder finished, so she is also strong.
The combo lands the shockwave, but he cancels it with the all out in an incredible play there from Dragoon and Samikin to kill Pain Shell again, who is indeed in pain right now. And oh my goodness, Samikin's already building Fiendish Codexes for future items, is kind of how far ahead Samikin is in this game.
Yeah, I've done that myself. you just have an awkward back, and you're like, you know what? I'm going to be building this anyway. Let's just get it. It's a great item.
Definition of a yard sale. Definition of yard sale build.
But this Cassante's items, his Iceborne Gauntlet and Bramble Vest, this Aatrox can't touch him.
I don't think anyone can touch him at this point. Pain Shell doesn't have the sheer damage to tear through him, and you're gonna end up killing yourself if you're Ego or Avril here into this Cassante right now.
And Ezreal did finish his Triforce, and his tier is almost stacked. So, but he's gonna need to make something's gonna need to happen around him. Otherwise, this Aphelios is gonna outscale him or quicker
Jump
than
over
he
the
has.
wall into the cease and desist. And there's another kill for Fnatic, but he's gonna get snuck under the turret, so it's gonna be another kill over her, a kill over to Kid Beats. That was a plating we were talking about earlier. Whoops. And I mean, even with the death, it's still just more valuable for CCG because a tank getting a kill means almost nothing. It's gonna be a bruiser, and getting another take.
Yeah, and getting another stack on that ring that Samikin bought. So he's stacking up the ring as well. 103 with 5 stacks on a Darksteel on a Syndra is going to be something that you can't ignore.
And got one take by the confidence, but now Dragoon going a bit low because can't really answer to just the damage. He's denying the and some of the damage, enough of it, and now goes into the world after, but enough the out. No one's dying, just saw Dragoon get Ego to back up.
Yeah, the fact nobody dies top lane. Vi is fishing a little bit, but is just going to farm the top jungle of HU Storm. Like I was saying, that they need to make something happen around this Ezreal to get him more and more ahead, to get him caught back up. And that Maokai is going to be living in the spot lane for a while, it looks like.
And here comes the Maokai. Here comes Pain Shell. The hook already onto the Maokai. I think this Aphelios is gone, as good as gone, but it's going to Kid Beats. And I think there's going to be an answer from Samikin here. Pain Shell's going to secure a kill, but Samikin, no ultimate available. This wave is so far up, and Avril is so low. Turret shots onto everybody. Pain Shell, you're going to fall, buddy, but it's going to be an executed.
Executed.
Not enough damage. No one touched Pain Shell there, and I mean, yeah, HU kind of get away with it, and there's first turret, just walked up and punched it, no dramatic stuff at all, and a Herald available during all of that.
And the important thing also is that Ezreal didn't get a single kill there.
Got one takedown. Oh my
It went to Maokai.
500 gold onto a Maokai. He has Radiant Virtue. Accelerated, you can get a tank Maokai really to have any value.
Yeah, it looks like he's building Sunfire. Dragoon is taking a tower in Ego's face.
Kind of what happened for Cassante, and you never get hit. That's almost every single champion right now. If you don't get hit by an auto and you have Bramble, you don't even need air about enemy top laner just being there. Just hit the turret until it dies.
It looks like he's going Stoneplate second, which is pretty interesting considering that the Q scales on bonus health, and the changes made on this recent patch were to have it basically Stoneplate be third. Oh,
And
nice
there's
throw.
the play, expecting the out just to get over the wall, get a bit extra for it. There goes the lock, there goes his health bar, and now Ego is fighting super good. I mean, he has a gore drinker, and now there's a fight on the bot lane where Fnatic's gonna secure a kill on the Pain Shell. Now Lunar is trying to survive. Kid Beats at least is able to do that with his health bar, and Avril finally gets a kill after what feels like 3 attempts at it, and just everything. There's plays in all 3 lanes, and this is just chaos.
This is an action-filled game. I'm loving it so far. Fights in all 3 lanes. Cassante won that fight against the Aatrox. And yeah. Well, we saw him beat Kench.
Oh, and Avril got 1 kill. Thought they were tough and got absolutely blown up by an unleashed power and a Vi Q.
I blinked and I missed that. I'm not gonna lie.
I literally saw Vi go forward, and I think from the moment the Vault Breaker landed, I I'm pretty sure he survived a half second. I'm convinced that was a half second to a second that Avril got to engage in that fight.
And this is the third Drake. It's an Infernal map. So one away from Infernal Soul with this composition is going to be very hard to come back from HU Storm. Right now, I'm trying to find a way that they can get back into the game, and being that CCG has also actually gotten some scaling this time, they have an Aphelios instead of an Ashe. I don't think that HU can just wait out the storm.
Uh-oh, but Lunar is in a bit of a bad to get the Devour, but his red ulti's gonna be able to heal him up, but there goes a lot. They throw into Lunar. That's another kill, excuse me. There we go. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm surprised Samikin didn't teleport for that fight. He's been showing up whenever they're wanting to go on Lunar. He's been there, so I was really surprised to see him not teleport on that fight. I don't know if the ward came down late or what.
Lunar was already in 3 again of the Devour, so it probably isn't super worth to invest a teleport. Just cut your losses and start getting advantage elsewhere. As you can see, I believe Samikin was trying to push out the top lane. And now Dragoon, stealthy as ever, onto Ego. Just will take the wave.
Yeah, so if HU Storm can do that a few more times, they'll be right back into this game. But as I say that, Vi is trying to solo kill Avril,
and what hurts most is that, I mean, Fnatic probably would have went for that play anyways, but knew they could go for that because they saw a show on the scene. Able to walk forward without a care, and now they're onto the Baron again.
With red right guns on Aphelios, this Baron's gonna melt.
Yup. Already has max chakrams, I believe, so it's good for Norm here to survive another game, let alone this tournament.
Yeah, and Dragoon did a great job of zoning out the Orianna and the Maokai during that to make sure that that dragon was easy and not contested at all.
Missile Mask, he's looking to buff him again here, so Dragoon be player in this situation, and a nice double scatter the weak, and they're got a chance to get the gray health just as good. Shockwave and is able to flash out, and the Bulwark's gonna keep him healed, and then the awful out the Ego off of massive gore drink here doesn't matter. Samikin goes on a rampage. Dragoon's taking the turret, and there's the actual line. Pain Shell will fall to Dragoon as he goes on a rampage. Syndra just executed Avril on respawn there. It's a double kill, and it's an ace for CCG in a messy fight.
I thought that was beautiful by Dragoon, where he peeled for Just, and then Just was able to re-enter the fight and get some more CC down. Very well played by CCG, and I think we're minutes away from this game being closed out.
I thought that was the all-out. That wasn't even the all-out. That was the Pathmaker from Dragoon. Saved the all-out to bring Pain Shell over the wall and just in the one beatment.
Yeah, he's like, Just, I'm going to save your life, and I'm going to bring someone back over here. Make sure you got your key ready, buddy.
Oh my god. It's been such a... You know how it's a pretty display of teamwork.
It really is. Everybody's been playing very, very well on the side of CCG. HU Storm have definitely had their moments, but they definitely do not look as strong as CCG does in this series.
Out. Oh, Dragoon is barely taking damage, and I think that's the first actual serious damage I've seen him take. He definitely took more damage, more most members of HU. Oh.
Yeah, and now CCG is just going to strangle out HU Storm, prevent them from even getting close back into the game. They're 13, almost 13k up right now, and that gap's only going to grow as HU can't farm their own jungle. especially if they don't take any inhibitor turrets. If they don't take these these inhibitor turrets and take inhibitors, then they're not going to have the super minions to get that
Okay.
extra gold.
Tab back in. Observers, tab back into the game. You should be, unless it closed on you, I'm sorry. But Quacker's in game. Sorry, CCG Futures. Hi, Quacker. As you saw there, I mean, I was gonna say Samikin on 3 items while it was a struggle to get to 2. Didn't even get to 2 in the end, I would imagine, for Pain Shell. So just exactly what we expected, I guess. Go through mid and just get the Syndra super fed, and the rest of the game will come to you. And Samikin had some insane roams throughout both of those games to really secure some good fight wins for the team.
Yeah, Samikin coming in as a sub. I would not have known that if I wasn't told beforehand.
Just
he played like the spot on the roster is his.
Just such good coordination with the team. I guess that's how long the team's been playing together and how good their communications and their actual teamwork is. Like, you can have a substitute come in and just play like nothing's changed at all.
Yeah, and Dragoon did a great job of neutralizing the Aatrox in both those games, because we know that Aatrox can become a menace.
I really do hope that
I will say that Pain Shell did very well in lane with keeping even with Samikin, but when it came to the roams and the team fights, Samikin proved to be the better pilot on the day.
Did fall apart in the team fights. It just kind of, that also just came down to the comp a little bit.
We can't hear you, Box.
Nice. That's always great to hear. Why is my, I don't know why I'm unmuted in Discord and VMix, and is it just not working? Okay.
And Lunar and Fnatic had a great bot lane series. First as the Ashe and the Melio, and then as the Aphelios and Nautilus. Just went in a lot, died a few times, but that's expected as Nautilus, and he provided those opportunities for Lunar to get some kills.
I don't know if I can be heard. I'm sad right now.
Avril tried to get back into the game as that Ezreal. They really made a big play bot lane to try and get him back into it. If multiple kills had went to Ezreal in that bot lane fight, we might have had a different game on our hands. But then just a few moments later, he got caught out by Samikin and Fnatic. So it's a bit rough there. And we still can't hear Box Kimchi, but we can see his beautiful face. So
I don't know if it's working now. I'm trying. Nope, nothing. I'm sad.